Khora has been widely known as the best loot frame for a long time. Turns out, if you restrain, suspend and beat the hell out of people, they will give you their stuff. The thing that makes Khora different from the rest of the Dead Squad is her passive bound pet, Venari.
That is just a fat cat.
This Kawat isn't that different from the rest of the animal companions, but since she can be modded, Khora can benefit twice from some mods. When it comes to Khora's abilities, there are two that I care about: Whipclaw and Strangle Dome. Her last ability creates a chain dome that will restrain and pull nearby enemies. This is good crowd control tool, and if you have this augment mod, it will also force enemies to occasionally give you more stuff. Her first ability is a simple whiplash that deals damage in a small area. Striking an enemy while they are being held by the dome will also damage every other enemy currently held by the chains. The damage and stats of this ability are affected by equipped melee weapon, but more about that later. Her second ability mobilizes enemies. The most important thing you need to know about this ability is that it works on these demolishers in disruption missions. Third ability allows you to issue simple commands like attack, protect or heal to Venari and instantly revive her if she forgets she's supposed to be alive. At the start of the mission, if I remember this ability exists, I just set it on heal. I don't even use it to revive Venari, and if you ever want to play around with Helmet, you can replace this ability. Doing this won't get rid of Venari. There are also some other interactions between abilities, like refreshing the immobilization chains if you hit them with Whipclaw, but I am really trying to keep these videos as simple as possible. Some people might not like that, but I think that if you really want to know every minor detail about Khora, you can look it up yourself. When playing with Khora, you just need to set down the dome and whip the hell out of it. You can even completely forget about the dome like I always do and just lash away. She's pretty straightforward. Because she's a simple pain/loot machine, I have only one build. The most important mods here are these two augments. One for extra loot and the other one for extra damage. If you don't want extra loot chance, you can replace this range mod and Pilfering Strangle Dome for ability strength or some other utility mods. Thanks to one specific warframe enjoyer that really loves the color green, I know that any warframe can be permanently invisible with the help of a specific companion, so I haven't put any survivability mods. Invisibility you get from this pet is not broken when using abilities, so it is perfect fit for Khora's gameplay. I know the companion reveal won't be a surprise, but I'm gonna keep it a secret anyway. So first, I will show you my big damage stake, the build for Venari and also Archon shards. I am very lucky that I have 5 maxed purple shards. I think the critical damage they provide is the absolute best choice you can have. Other choices here include the red critical damage, ability strength or even duration for the dome. The melee weapon I am using as a stat stick is the ceramic dagger. Some people said that for Khora, Magistar is the best choice. I do have the Incarnon for this weapon, but on the other hand, I also have a big amount of laziness, so I'm not gonna test and compare if this is truly the better choice. If you are like me and big numbers don't get you hard, I think both weapons are good choices. When it comes to mods, I wouldn't say this is the usual stat stick build. You don't really see puncture damage mods on a lot of weapons. I think this will change thanks to this arcane. Since I don't want to cause a massive tragedy and eliminate my subscribers with an ancient method called Death by Laughter, the name of this arcane will remain unspoken. The ceramic dagger has a lot of puncture damage, and with the usual status mods plus that extra puncture damage, you can get a lot of critical damage multiplier. Now for the evolution choices. The second evolutions, I can never make the most out of either of them because my shield won't ever get broken and I never use any weapons other than the whip, so I went with higher base damage. Third evolution is initial combo, and the last one is another choice between status chance and critical chance. I really don't like making these choices. Both are very good, and if you want really big critical damage multiplier, go with status. I am personally going with critical chance because I love seeing these red numbers. When modding Venari, there are some limits. For some reason, she cannot use some mods. The best example are retriever mods. Also, since Venari naturally doesn't have any shields, it is pointless to use shield dependent mods. For Venari, there isn't a really specific build or mods you have to use, but because melee combo counter increases Whipclaw's damage, and let's be honest, no one really wants to use the ceramic dagger to hit stuff, you need a tandem bond. This mod will cause your companion to passively increase the melee combo, and for most of the time, as long as there are enemies around, this combo will be at max. Surprisingly, whipping everyone around you all the time requires a lot of energy, and using a Mystic Bond combined with Arcane Steadfast really takes off the energy concerns. This is also the reason why I have all of these Kawat ability mods. If you have watched my recent shorts, you saw that I talked about Shade and its Ghost Precept mod. With this mod, whenever enemies are nearby, you will become invisible, and the best part, using any abilities while this is active will not break invisibility. If you thought that I am using Shade, you are wrong. The companion I am using is Khora Skubrov. Ignore the name, I was young, drunk and incredibly stupid. This Skubrov is basically the organic version of the Shade Sentinel. I want to have two tandem bonds, and also I never use Kubrovs, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to play with a Kubrov a little bit. The build is almost the same, just like for Venari, with the biggest difference being the obvious invisibility mod, Animal Instinct and Fetch. I also haven't talked about their claw builds, so here they are. Just go with the damage. Before I end this, I also want to talk about Helming. I looked over all the abilities, and just like radiation damage, none of them really scream use me. With the low ability strength, you cannot get a lot from any of them, but I think Breathful Advance is the most impactful choice. Khora is really great. She has tons of damage, a solid looting boost, and also if you have a thing for whipping people,
what the hell is wrong with you?
Enjoy the rest of your life and let me know what do you think about this.